Hey everyone, Kyle Lewis here from the Worship Keyboard Tutorial YouTube channel. In the last video, we looked at some easy chord movement that went from the 1 to the 4, and that after establishing that common chord tone, the notes that move actually move in an upward direction. Now if you missed that video, you can click this link up here and it'll take you to that video. But in this video, we're going to look at the movement from the 1 to the 5, and we're going to see that once we establish the common chord tone, which is going to be different than the 1 and the 4, that the notes that move actually move in a downward direction. So let's take a look. So let's see what a 1-5 chord progression is going to be in the key of C, and then determine first of all if there is any common chord tone. So the 1 chord in the key of C is C, and the 5 chord is G. So the common chord tone between both of those chords is G, because we find that in the C chord and we find that in the G chord. Now we're going to keep G in the same place, and we're only going to move the other two notes, C and E. So the two notes that we have left over for the 5 chord is B and D. So notice if we just take those two notes C and E and move them down, we get those two other notes, B and D. So now I have all of the notes from my G chord, G, B, D. So to go from my 1 to 5, I just simply go from a C chord here, my 1 chord, and I move those two notes down. Now again, my C chord can be in a different place. I can play my C chord up here. That common chord tone is still G, and the other two notes are still going to move down. So C is going to move down to B, E is going to move down to D. So I'm going to go from here, the 1 chord, and move the outer two notes to my 5 chord. So let's play C up here. That common chord tone, G, is now on the bottom. So that means the upper two notes are going to be the moving notes. They're both going to move down. So I've got C and E again moving down to B and D, but now they're on top. So now let's see what this movement looks like in different keys. When we were doing the 1 to 4, we used B flat and D. So let's use some different chords this time. Let's use an E chord. So here I have an E, G sharp, B, that's my 1 chord. My 5 chord is B. So the common chord tone is going to be B. So I'm going to take the E, G sharp and move them down to D sharp and F sharp. So there's my 1 to 5 movement in the key of E. Again, I can play my E in a different position. I can play it so that E's on top. B is still going to be that common chord tone, but now that's sandwiched between the two moving notes. Let's play our E chord so that the common chord tone is now on the bottom. So now let's go to the key of A flat. Here's my 1 chord, A flat, and I'm going to move to a 5 chord, E flat. So E flat is my common chord tone. Those two notes, that root and third, are going to move down to my E flat chord. I can play my A flat here, and I can play my A flat up here. And there you have it. Well, thanks for watching, and if you got some value out of this video, would you hit that like button and consider subscribing to this channel? You can also click the notification bell so that you can be aware of future videos as they come out. And if you want to financially support this channel, you can click the Patreon link, which is in the description box below. And before you sign off, make sure to check out some of these other videos. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye.